must understand, just because I don't upload in over a month doesn't mean I'm going to miss the book boyfriend wars. Hey guys, my name is Miranda and welcome to my universe. Today we embark on our third annual book boyfriend wars on my channel. I am so excited. This is going to be the best one yet. Basically, what happens in this video is I take 14 of my book boyfriends, you know, the fictional guys that I am mildly attracted to, and I pin them together in a series of challenges until there is only one left standing. How this works is I have my love mug, aka my book boyfriend mug, and then I also have my father's Slytherin mug, aka our battle mug. Every piece of paper in my book boyfriend mug has the name of, what do you know, one of my book boyfriends. And every piece of paper in our battle mug has a different scenario that two guys have to face each other off in. To sum up the first annual book boyfriend wars, Adrian Everhart from the Renegades series by Marissa Meyer won back in 2019. And then in the second book boyfriend wars, back in 2020, my good man Nikolai from Shadow and Bone, yeah, he ended up taking the dub. So now it is time to see who will win our third annual book boyfriend wars. I cannot wait. I'm all set up with my war makeup, with my Ron Weasley shirt. Let's get it. So round one will basically cut our 14 boys down to 7. Let's begin. So the scenario is, who would take me on a road trip? If it's not every single one of these guys, then I am doing something wrong. All right, so we have Jameson from the Inheritance games, or Carstairs from the Infernal devices. Oh no. We all know that Jameson would be more willing to take me on a road trip. Ah, Jem. It's just that Jameson, for those of you who haven't read the Inheritance games, he is very adventurous, very outgoing. Jameson will literally wake up and be like, you know, I want to drive across the country today, and he'll just go. I love you, Jem, but Jameson wins this one. Battle number 2. One of these guys forgot your birthday. He loses. I have some pretty clueless guys in here. Don't ask me why they made it into the book boyfriend wars, because none of us have any idea. Nikolai from Shadow and Bone, he was our last year's winner, versus Ron Weasley. Ron always loses every year. He always loses. One of these years he's going to win, but this is not the year. Out of these two, Ron would 100% forget my birthday. I apologize, Ron. I love you so dearly, but this wasn't your year. Battle number 3 is, who would survive the zombie apocalypse? We have Jesper from Six of Crows. Whoa! That guy knows how to throw knives. That's all I'm saying. Versus Lowë from Wolf by Wolf. When I read Jesper, I for sure thought he was going to win this one. But Luka? I think in a zombie apocalypse, if I was to take away weapons, I think Jesper would win, realistically. Next battle. Who probably knows every line in SpongeBob by heart? Wade Watts from Ready Player One. You already know that it's gonna be him. Are you kidding me? Versus Thomas Cresswell. Yeah, so this is really funny because Wade, quite literally in Ready Player One in the book, he memorizes thousands of movies. I love Thomas so much, but Wade. The next battle that shall commence, who would win the Hunger Games? So we have Adrian Everhart, who won our first annual Hunger Games, versus Thorne from the Lunar Chronicles. Okay, listen, Adrian is a superhero, but Thorne is also very technical and he's very good at problem solving. But I think Thorne is more of like a team member, and the Hunger Games is definitely not a team game. So I think Adrian Everhart wins this one. Who would get casted in a horror movie? Specifically as the villain, I want to know. So our two guys are Dorian from the Starless Sea versus Julian from Caraval. Okay, horror movie, Julian. Both of these guys live in worlds that are very overthrown by magic, and there's magic everywhere. It's very whimsical. I absolutely love the atmosphere in both of these books. They're very similar to each other, actually. If these guys were to audition as the villain for a horror movie, I feel like Julian would get casted because he can get into character very easily, whereas Dorian, I feel like, takes things too seriously. And then this is the last battle of our first round. After this one, we'll be down to 7 boys. Who would I rather see after a rough day? Let's find out. Prince Cardan from The Cruel Prince and Will Herondale from the Infernal Devices. You should know already. I mean, well, that's a bold assumption. If you've read both of these series, you would know who I would pick. I would 100% choose Will. Because Prince Cardan, he's like not always the kindest person ever. But Will is very much more of a comforting type. And if I was having a hard day, I would love to get a hug from him. All right, so the 7 winners of those battles go back in my book boyfriend mug. And then we commence to round 2. Who would share the same taste in music as me? I think it's important to say that I have a very wide range of music that I listen to. We have Jesper from Six of Crows versus Will Herondale from the Infernal Devices. Jesper. I could totally imagine Will just being content with classical music, which I'm totally not complaining about, but I feel like Jesper would be more similar to me in that way. Who would be a firebender? If you have stayed with my channel for a while, you know my obsession with Avatar. Do I need to explain any farther? All right, so we have Nikolai from Shadow and Bone versus Julian from Caraval. Which one of these would be a firebender? Julian, I see as more of a waterbender type, maybe air. Whereas I totally could see Nikolai as either an earth or a waterbender. So this makes things really complicated. But if both of them were to be born in the Fire Nation, which one do I think would wield it better? I think probably Nikolai. He is very dedicated to what he does and what he's learning and his craft, whatever it might be. Nikolai. Fire! Who would visit Narnia with me? Okay, so since we're down to our last 3 guys, because, you know, 7's an odd number, 2 of these guys get to go to Narnia with me, whereas one of them does not. We have Jameson from the Inheritance Games, Wade Watts from Ready Player One, and Adrian Everhart. Wade Watts would prefer to stay in a virtual reality game. He doesn't need to visit Narnia. He's okay. All right, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. We have our last 4 guys. Jameson from the Inheritance Games, Adrian Everhart, Nikolai, and Jesper. I am not surprised that the 2 winners of the past 2 years are in the top 4. I'm just wondering if they'll win again. Back in the jar they go. All right. Round 3, let's get it. Who would go on a voyage with me? This is all I have to say. If Nikolai is chosen, he automatically wins because he's quite literally a pirate. So, 2 of our previous winners went head to head, and Nikolai obviously won. So, rest in peace, Adrian Everhart. This is kind of scaring me. I don't know if I necessarily want Nikolai to win 2 years in a row. This is getting interesting. The tension is building. Can you feel it? Is it just me? I don't know anymore. Why am I so anxious? Okay, so the next battle. Who would go stargazing with me? We have Jesper from Six of Crows and Jameson from the Inheritance Games. I really have to think about this critically, okay? I know that Jameson would be like, let's go stargazing. We're going right now. It's happening. So Jameson wins this one. All right, everyone. Moment of truth. We're down to our last 2 guys. Nikolai, who is last year's winner, versus Jameson from the Inheritance Games. I'm so surprised that Jameson made it this far just because he's part of a book that isn't super well known, but I read it last year and I absolutely fell in love with it. Their battle is, who would dance in the rain with me? Very simple. Can you infer, can you just guess who won? Nikolai versus Jameson. Because it's very obvious to me. The winner of the 3rd annual Book Boyfriend Wars is Jameson from the Inheritance Games. Woohoo! Yeah! Love this man, Jameson. He did so well. All right, and that concludes our 3rd annual Book Boyfriend Wars. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I'll definitely see you next time. Hopefully, if my schoolwork calms down and I get my schedule back under control, I can start getting on top of my YouTube channel again. I love you.